did. I did. So yeah, we have proof, and it was forwarded to Marlene. Are you Marlene? Okay. With a receipt from company we used to print out the letters to the address. Okay. Okay. And the affidavit. Okay.
But now you maybe found another issue. My eyes aren't like good. Yeah. 9449.
But all the proceeds, all the tips,
My eyes are not
Right.
good either.
See if we can
everything's like seven.
See it on that page. Oh, wait.
The more they drink, the more they.
Albertsons, yeah, that's Jewel.
That's two
Ours
hearts,
are important.
and then might be some. There should be.
One guy complained about the cup size.
Second.
Should tell us what the village is.
Right. No, they were advertising
Get this
16-ounce beer.
days in advance.
All brand names.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we're the only one on the agenda, so take your time.
Yeah,
Bud Lights and Core Lights were 16 ounce.
Yeah, yep.
And I guess
If I explain something.
only
Sure.
This whole site is under one site plan approval.
your supply
And that
Understood.
site plan approval
specified 14 ounce and 16 ounce. But they didn't change it.
covers, site.
But only one guy.
Right, it's my
I just gave him, this, you know, whatever we wanted, the 16
Yeah,
ounce.
not notifying
After that.
And that's part of our problem, is whoever made the map and do it correctly unless we can consider this to be the old property. So,
They got sued.
assuming that everything is correct, we'll have to have our corporation council look at it.
It's volunteer.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I think if we assume that it's correct, we'll go ahead.
What does a charity
If
the
we say
proceeds
it's
go
not,
to?
then
I don't know what it was.
I don't know.
we'd have to call you back.
We have calls back.
But, or, you know, since the main property owner here, Jewel, was not,
Yeah, they got a red
they're not
ball
the
of
actual
shares.
owners, so who's seeing, I think it's just the second one. So if we give them notice, they also have to be careful that including our but also the owner, which may be something else.
And I'm just curious, was the expectation that we would have to figure that out, who the owner was?
Yes, you go to the,
Okay.
you go to the tax assessor's records, you'll see that property address in Athens, but it'll say some address in California, so then you know you have to notify who's ever there, plus, and who's,
Well, how does
What-
Jewel parcel own, this site is owned by Kimco?
right, but,
I do understand they're part of the PUD,
yes,
but
they're locked together, and there was a recent decision by the National Council that you can do things separately, have to have separate ownerships, and as long as they've been notified, but there's one other,
Oh, yeah.
you find it. Well, let's assume.
were they, are the, I mean, Jewel's part of the application.
No, they're a separate owner.
It's like a divided
Yeah, I
highway.
thought they signed the application to give it up. Like that was part of
They
the,
got ordered.
Did the owners for the Jewel property
Yeah.
also sign the
I
application?
thought so.
Theory or
I thought it was
201.
based on legal, that was not what we had. That was not the case.
Did you ask Tron about that?
Yeah.
But- So, let's proceed.
All right.
Okay, let's figure out.
After we talk to the members of council,
Go to the website, it doesn't talk about it.
He feels
So-
comfortable saying on the road that you spoke with Terry, who indicated that he mailed everything on the 12th of October.
Yes, I did.
Okay. And I feel comfortable, and he feels comfortable.
Nothing else.
Worst case, I think we just have to renotice everything and come back. Right, that's what I think would happen.
And that what puts us back a month, 2 weeks? I mean, what kind of a delay are we looking at?
because we have to go through the whole legal process
So, so if that's the case, then,
It's up to you.
It's not clear.
Roll the dice, maybe make it, maybe fine, probably fine, because those corporation council, but it's gonna happen anytime to start over. If you continue, you
Okay.
may see yourself skipping past.
I think it's worth the effort to continue and, yes.
Continue it or do it tonight?
Do it tonight and see, and, you know, to see what happens tomorrow when you talk to the corporation council. And so we would have to, just so I'm understanding, so if we did this, we would have to re-notify all the addresses we were already given, plus
Maybe.
whatever new ones based on a new mapping?
Yeah, when I wrote it, I saw the whole site. And I
Mhm.
saw the we covered the whole site.
Right,
So
Yeah, I'm aware
we're
of that.
putting the bank inside this overall plan. So part of it was that there's already an ordinance on it.
yes,
It's amended, stated that we should repeal the existing ordinance, create a new ordinance, including the bank. So, but now I notice that the notification is only for your portion of the site. So we're gonna have to talk to the corporation council about that also.
You didn't get that till late. You didn't get that till late, so when did you get that? Why was that? Why was it sent so late today?
I mean,
It doesn't matter.
yeah,
It's too late.
I don't know either, I mean, we've had these were sent out in August, so there's,
Yeah. We should have confirmed it before we even sent it. Yeah, it was sent to the right people.
It was actually Marlene who reached out today saying we're missing the 6 meetings.
Okay.
Neither here nor there. You know,
Alright.
we'll see and then we'll see, you know, what happens, I suppose. But the worst case is we'll have to come back.
okay. And then how long, so the notice date is what? You have to notice 30 days before the meeting? 15 days?
45 days, between that range. The
Okay,
bigger issue is just getting, you know, there's also notice of paper that we put in there.
So today was, or Monday was the first week of October. And so
okay,
we all did the first meeting in October, and then the meeting on the second. So it's,
Okay.
we could even put it in the Tribune a year or 12 days later or something. Yeah, so you're losing all that.
all right, well, let's move forward and see what you find out tomorrow. And, you know, let us know if we need to re-notify, and we need to re-notify. I mean, it's understandable.
We won't charge you because there's question about what we even told you to notify, so there's two things going on.
But
All right,
even
thank you.
It's possible that even if we received everything, that we could have made a mistake by not telling you to notify Cole, for example, or one of the other ones. So it seems like a mistake on both ends potentially. Just so you know, it's not entirely
Okay.
on the petitioner.
Right. No, I'm not, I just, no, I just wanna have a general idea of, you know, if it is an issue, you know, what we would need to do going forward, so,
Repost the property.
okay.
Put a notice in the newspaper, and then we give you again a new notification list.
Okay.
We wouldn't charge you. The question of
This affidavit needs to be signed and notarized, like here, right here.
Okay, and, yeah, Tehran said that Maureen would have that in her mailbox in the morning. So, he's been juggling a lot of things today.
All right, well, let's just move forward.
Okay, thank you.
They're gonna come present,
Yep.
and then we sit up there.
Yeah. Did you put it on here, or somebody put
I
it?
think Marlene did this.
Oh, she did it?
I think.
Hey,
Oh, no,
Marlene.
was it left from before?
Hey, Marlene. Did you put this up? Well, it was on already.
Okay,
We had-
maybe
we had-
Brian did it
We had
earlier.
opened it earlier, right?
So how did you go? Oh, you went to the view,
View.
and then you went to full screen.
Full screen, yeah.
Okay. And, Did they get a copy of, I don't think they got a copy of the report.
Send it to them?
Well,
have
they may
another.
not be them.
Oh.
Did you guys get a copy of the report?
Yeah, we got the copy.
Oh, you do, okay.
You got the copy report, right?
Okay, good.
I read by Peter, so.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Skokie Plan Commission meeting for September 1st. First order of business is to ratify the minutes from the last meeting. Do I have a motion to approve? Commissioner Berman, thank you. I have a second. Commissioner Monticello, thank you. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay. Let's see. Okay, before we begin, I'd like to introduce to everyone, and I hope that later on, after the meeting, you come up and introduce yourself, sir. Johanna Nyden. Johanna, excuse me. I'll get it. I'm lousy with names. There's a couple people here who'll testify. She is our new Director of Community Planning, and we welcome her to her new position. Thank you. Okay. First case tonight. All these cases are related. We have cases 2022-25P, -26P, -27P, and -28P. In 25P is a site plan approval for 9401 through 9445 Skokie Boulevard, but the exact address will be determined later on. In 26P is a parking and stacking determination. And 27P is a special use permit for the drive-through, I believe. And 28P will be the parking determination. Is that right? What is 28P? 28P is, oh, the subdivision, okay, that's right, thank you. Okay, is the petitioner here, please? Please come up. Okay, would you both give us your name and your address and your relationship to the petitioner? Speak into the microphone.
Hi, Jonathan Krisoff. I'm the Market Director of Real Estate with J.P. Morgan Chase Bank. My address is 569 Valley Park Drive in Libertyville, Illinois.
Thank you.
I'm Amy Ferguson with the Architects Partnership. We're the architect of record for Chase Bank. My address is 17942 Hickory Street, Lansing, Illinois.
Thank you. I'm going to swear both of you in. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you affirm that the testimony you give tonight is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth to help you?
I do.
Yes. Okay, it seems that we have a problem with the notice. I believe our counselor, Tyler Kabilski, will inform the commission as to where the defect is.
Sure. I'll just state that for the purposes of tonight, we're going to deem notice proper and correct. Ms. Ferguson, you can confirm that you spoke with Mr. Wright, who indicated that he had mailed the notices on August 12th, is that right?
That is correct.
There is an issue about potentially a couple locations essentially in the site plan that may not have received notice, but that's a determination we'll make tomorrow. In the meantime, the petitioner is elected to move forward, knowing that if notice is deemed improper, that we're gonna have to come back and most likely start over.
Okay.
But for tonight, it is proper and correct, and we'll just make that determination tomorrow after more facts are made available to us.
Okay. Okay. Do you agree with that?
Yes, we do.
Okay, all right. So, Commissioners, you all know that, that we, what happened to your microphone? You broke it. Okay, so we're gonna move ahead and we will go ahead with the vote, bearing in mind that if Corporation Council tomorrow deems that the notice is in defect, and these cases will be reheard. Okay? All right, so please go ahead, make your have your presentation.
So we are,
If you would, just combine all the cases, you go over and
yeah,
give us
Sure.
an overview of all your cases here, your requests, your petitions rather.
so our petition is to construct a new one-story freestanding financial institution on the corner of Emerson and Skokie Boulevard in an existing parking lot area. We have a drive-through, detached, right? Drive-through,
Just
yeah.
ATMs.
Detached drive-through ATMs. This page down? Ah,
I
okay.
did. Yeah.
There we go.
Before they
There we
before we talk about the notice.
Thank you so much. We have our
Give me 2 minutes.
Do your next.
roughly 4,200 square feet Chase Bank. Do I have that right? No, 4,500 square feet, sorry. With a detached remote ATM drive-through, a trash enclosure, and changes to the parking that's in this parking lot area to accommodate the new building. Access to Skokie Boulevard via sidewalk connection on the north of the building. Access to Emerson Street via sidewalk connection on the east of the building. With our own private accessible stalls located in front of the building on the east side. And access to the branch would be either through the existing access aisle off of Emerson, and that was a different, another street.
That's just the
Sorry.
access to the center.
Right, the existing access to the center, both off of Emerson and off of Skokie Boulevard. So we're not asking for any new curb cuts or access aisles for our particular portion of space. Let me go back, the previous one, that one was better, a little bit clearer. So traffic would flow off of Skokie Boulevard through the parking lot and then into our space where they could park two-way traffic here, one-way traffic to continue around, or they can come in off of Emerson with two-way traffic into the site, and again back out again with one-way traffic coming up this aisle, because that's the flow of the current shopping center drive aisles. We're proposing, so that covers the new bank with drive-through. We're not showing the stacking. So we have stacking for 8 cars at the ATM drive-up. And we have done a traffic study report on this. We are reducing the overall count of the parking lot for the entire shopping center by 30 stalls, so we're asking for relief for those 30 stalls. But according to our traffic study, we are still well within capacity for the entire shopping center. Part of this request also includes signage. We understand a wall sign is is approved for along Skokie and along Emerson Street with special approval requiring for wall signs facing both our parking lot and northward into the existing shopping center parking lot. There's an existing multi-tenant ground sign right here in this corner. So we will not be allowed to put in our own monument sign, and we'll be looking to the owner to see what we can do about getting signage for us on this multi-tenant sign.
Okay. And you're putting in landscaping along,
subdivision? I'm
you're putting in
sorry.
landscaping along Skokie Boulevard?
Yes, sir. So, yes, and this will be a subdivision of the current lot. So we'll be subdividing off this portion of the lot. I apologize, my eyesight is really bad too. I don't have the exact delineation of what we're subdividing off, but we would be subdividing off a portion of this lot to a new parcel. That's one of the other requests here. As far as landscaping, this is our proposed landscaping plan. So we have parkway trees along Emerson. We have some new parkway trees along Skokie. These are existing trees along Skokie that would remain. There are existing trees in the islands up here that would remain, and we would be putting new trees in the islands, as well as low plantings, perennials, some bushes and that kind of thing around the building, and in the islands and along Emerson Street and Skokie. Now, I believe a mention was made about adding a ginkgo tree to one of these two island ends, and that's not a problem to make that small change.
Okay. Any questions of the petitioner from the commissioners? Nothing? No questions? Peter?
Just to clarify, are we going to include language related to that ginkgo tree as an addition, or how is that being treated?
It's in the staff recommendations.
Yeah. No questions? Okay. Well, thank you. At this time, I'll ask the staff to present its case, reveal their cases, and then afterwards, we'll have you come back up for a rebuttal.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman.
Commissioner.
Ask that the cases all be put into the record, and staff is recommending approval based on positive findings of fact for the site plan approval and the special use permit.
Okay, your request is granted.
Thank you. And just a few little things. The site plan approval, as we were looking at it, there's an existing ordinance, and that covers the entire site, whereas the petitioner's request is only for their portion of the site. So it's one of the issues we'll have to look at.
Okay.
But my recommendation was to repeal the old site plan approval and create a new one, incorporating all the new conditions into it. So we'll have to see if that's actually what's going to happen or not.
Okay.
Based on some legal decisions by the Corporation Council. Then special use permit, as was indicated, the drive-through bank, the bank is a permitted use, the drive-through is a special use. It has adequate stacking and everything that we look for, so there really is no issue there. The only relief that's required in this section is for the signs. The two signs, the one that faces north and one that faces east, do not face a street, so they need to have relief through the public hearing process. And the petitioners have not gone to the Appearance Commission yet for the signage. So that's an issue that usually goes the other way around, that they usually go first.
Yeah.
But the Plan Commission is only really making a decision on the location rather
Yes.
than the appearance.
Okay.
So I don't think it really makes a difference. They can do that, but it'll just hold up their process going to the village board.
Does the Appearance Commission regulate the size?
They do, yes.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, the size and location would be regulated by the Appearance Commission. And then on their site plan approval, because of the request, also the parking and stacking determination, the stacking was okay for the two drive-throughs. The parking, the deficit that they were requesting,
the 31 spaces. That staff felt was within reason. There was a traffic analysis created, and the corner area, the site, is only 58% utilized, so the loss of those 31 spaces really will not be
It won't
negative.
impact the rest of the stores there.
No, actually, by the Institute of Traffic Engineers, 65% is the lowest that they would recommend, and they're at 50%. In fact, the site plan approval ordinance has special language in it that's not usually in other ordinances saying you can't sell cars, because that's what that portion of the site is often used for, junk cars that are over there and people selling it. So this will really be an improvement to the site.
Well, let me ask you a question, Peter, about the entire site in general. Yeah, I know we've got Culver's there, we have the bank there. Is there any room for any other development in that large parcel? Is this gonna be it?
Maybe, south of the Jewel, but, Jewel sold off that portion next to them for the Culvers.
Right.
So there's a water detention area to the south, but I don't know, we'd have to see. Because Jewel might be overparked also with how things have changed.
Yeah.
And so it might be a possibility for a little outlot there. But stores like Jewel and the others have restrictions, and usually food uses would not be allowed in front of a Jewel. So, a bank is usually the safest use. And we've had that occur up at Old Orchard or Golf and Skokie Boulevard in front of the Doubletree Hotel, where the bank is located.
I mean, that's getting to be a pretty congested area at Emerson and Skokie Boulevard. You've got the Bank of America there, you got AAA, you got Chick-fil-A, which creates a lot of traffic. You have Wendy's just to the south of that location. Portillo's across the street, but that's contained over there,
Well, the traffic analysis looked at that also. It didn't change the operation of any of the drives or
Okay.
Skokie Boulevard or anything like that.
How about when the North Shore Theater has a performance there?
That I couldn't tell you. I mean,
Okay.
that's always backed up, and it's usually from the garage going out anyhow. And when you're at the Chick-fil-A site, it's on-site that's a problem. Trying to get to the drive-through, trying to get off the site. But once you get to Emerson, there's really no problem getting out, because you can go to Grosse Pointe or go to Skokie Boulevard.
Okay, right. No, thank you for your insight on that. Question, Commissioner Berman?
Peter, thanks. Question about, and maybe I just read it wrong. I thought with the parking spaces, there were 15 employees, and it was anticipated that I guess that would be 30 spaces. So 15, and anticipated that one space for employee and one per customer per employee at any given time? Is that what it was, the calculation?
No, our calculations go based primarily on, this one had a parking stacking study, but we usually go by square footage on a bank rather than, there are certain uses that do not have a set parking requirement, but I believe banks do. And so that would be based on the 1 per 300. So if there was no drive-through facility here, then there would not have been a stacking parking study. But because of the parking shortage that it was creating by eliminating spaces in the site plan, that's why the entire study was required.
One other question, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. That mall seems to have a litter issue anyway. I hate to always bring it up. And so is there any restrictions or requirements we can make that and maybe even extend to the rest of the malls, that they do a better job of keeping it and maintaining it and putting trash cans in?
I think we have that already, but we'd have to look. I mean, that site has always been a problem, especially along the north property line where there's
Right.
a fence and it blows that way. And our property standards people have been out there quite a few times just to make sure that it's cleaned up. But it's an ongoing problem in the area.
So at least from this being not contributing to it, do we, and I guess we can only with gas stations and places, automotive and places that serve food, that require the trash receptacles and supervising or policing the area every 4 hours, that can't be used for banks as well, can it?
Probably wouldn't be necessary for the bank itself, but you could ask them to put a trash can out by the door. I mean, I'm sure they'd do it.
Yeah. Let me answer.
Sure.
Yeah, we would be totally fine with that. We're actually,
Speak into the microphone, please.
Yeah.
we would be totally fine with that, absolutely. And our, you know, our branch staff and our facility, full-time facility manager be maintaining the site and keeping it clean. And we're almost, our use is almost completely paperless now. We don't really generate much paper at all. Any paper that we do, if there is paper generated and it gets thrown away, it actually gets taken into shred bins and then taken away by Iron Mountain. All our trash is pretty much just like someone, you know, our staff lunches or something like that from Culver's or something, and that's taken away. But yeah, we'd be open for any measures that you would like to help beautify.
Like particularly,
the center.
the problems we
Our
have,
problem.
at least within our community, and it more at fast food restaurants, but anywhere where there's some type of drive-through facility,
Yeah.
is having trash receptacles near there, so the ATM receipts can get disposed of or whatever. So if that's possible and at the door, would be great.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Question related to the configuration and how the parking lot will be used. So obviously this is a bank, this is a shopping mall. Particularly during the holiday season, it's a busy shopping mall. We've seen this work on Tui Avenue with PNC and Walmart sharing that parcel of property. Will there be any restrictions when the bank is not open from customers funneling in and parking in over parking situations?
There is no restriction on the parking. Anybody can park anywhere, so that would not be a case.
Great, it's the same thing at PNC, because I always
Right.
park there, it's easy.
Well, theoretically, you could park at the Jewel and, you know, the Jewel part of the parking lot and decide you need to get some cash at the Chase to go walk over there. You know, it's the
Yeah.
same thing.
I like the question related to further development of this site. To be honest, that's where I would start to really question that plan, because I visit that dual lot, as I'm sure many of our fellow commissioners do as well. I'm not sure there's a lot more of developable, as Peter said, unless it will read east and over the retention.
That's
I
right.
don't see that.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Any other questions? Peter Rose.
I have a question that's gonna feel more like a comment. In my digital version, it shows up on page 30. There's a nice graphic, I think, that would illustrate my point. But if you look at the visual that's included,
I can get down to it if you want.
yes, that would be great. I think it's 30. So I know we can't right historic wrongs, but I want to at least pose the question. So I had the comment earlier about the singular individual tree, but I did want to illustrate that it seems like we've got a fair amount of, maybe ground cover is not the best term for
Do
it,
you
but.
want the landscape plan?
Well, I'm mostly interested, it's a visual that shows the entire site.
I don't see any numbers, so if you can give me an idea of what you're.
I think you have to keep going, maybe 2 or 3 more.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. And there's the retention pond in the corner. But, I mean, I think the visual speaks for itself. You can see the mature trees and the difference between the mature trees and either the variety of trees that have previously been planted in this particular shopping space, or the fact that they are immature and have been replaced time after time for any number of reasons. But the point being is it's stark, the difference between this location and, you know, much of what surrounds. So I know it's not purely the bank's obligation, but the bank is not a community-based business, right? And so I feel more emboldened as a consequence of the fact that they are so robust and significant, at least asking the question why we could not at least consider holding them to a slightly higher standard. We have an opportunity to have something in this space more than a single tree as an addition, so I will use that as the focus of my question. Did we ask if there was an opportunity to do more than that, or how did we come to the determination that the addition of 1 tree over and above what they had planned was sufficient, given the overall lack of greenery in this particular site?
Well, the plan for the bank actually is a very nice site plan and landscape plan. And what our landscape, our arborist looked at it and said, well, we could put an extra tree in there. So you're seeing the varieties of trees that they're proposing, and you can see it's really well developed. There's trees all along here, inside the site, and she's just looking at filling in. So otherwise, all the islands have trees. There's trees along Skokie Boulevard and along Emerson. So it's not a matter of not having a good landscape plan. We expect that, but the extra tree was just the possibility, you know.
I would also point out that, my fellow commissioner, the challenge there is you don't have a lot of space between the sidewalk, Skokie Boulevard, and the defense of this for real large trees. You're not gonna get fully mature trees. The other problem is, they tend to die. When they're in this shallow and they have that much asphalt and concrete around them, they just don't do as well.
Yeah, we do regular inspections of special use sites, and this will be a special use site, to make sure that the landscape plan, they'll sign an agreement after this is done, saying that they will maintain the landscaping as approved. And then we go out and check to make sure that it's all where it should be. So it's a constant issue, because as Ross indicated, they die quite often.
Will the appearance commission also weigh into that too, with the landscaping?
They already did.
They
So
already-
they've looked at the landscaping, they've looked at the building elevations. For some reason, and they always have a well-developed sign plan, Chase. We've got 2 banks now in Skokie, and both of them are well-maintained and everything, nice signage. But for some reason, it was not on that agenda.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Any other questions of staff? Okay, thank you, Peter. Would you please back up and? So any final thoughts and words for the commission before we move along?
No, I think everything's been great. Appreciate it. If any other questions for us, we'll be happy to answer.
Okay, now I'm gonna hope that one of you will talk to the staff tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon about the notice.
Absolutely. We'll
Okay.
follow up on that.
So follow up on that. Any other questions of the petitioners while they're up? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I will entertain a motion for case, we have to vote on each case separately, so first case up for motion would be 2022-25P, the site plan approval at addresses 9401 through 9445, although the exact address will be determined later on, sometime in the future.
Actually, we do have an address.
We do have an address, okay.
Yeah, it was put on the report afterwards. It's 9409 Skokie Boulevard.
9409?
Yes.
Okay, so let the record show 9409 Skokie Boulevard. Okay, do I have a motion to, Commissioner Berman?
I'll make a motion to accept the staff report as presented for 2022-25P.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second?
Commissioner Franklin, thank you. Call for the vote. Commissioner Osley,
Aye.
Commissioner Manchella,
Aye.
Commissioner Schock is absent. Commissioner Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Giovannahu,
Aye.
thank you. Commissioner Latani is absent. Commissioner Berman,
Aye.
Commissioner Matei,
Aye.
and I'll vote aye. That motion passes. Now, there's relief in this case. And was there any special changes in the relief or just
No.
as presented?
As presented.
Okay,
Relating to the parking.
yeah, related to the parking. Do I have a motion to approve the relief as requested? In case 2022-25P. Commissioner Rattay moves. Okay. Commissioner Berman seconds, okay, thank you. Call for the vote. Commissioner Osley,
Aye.
Commissioner Manchella,
Aye.
Commissioner Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Giovannaho,
Aye.
Commissioner Berman,
Aye.
Commissioner McKay,
Aye.
and I'll vote aye. Okay. Next case is case 2022-26P, parking and stacking determination. Now, this doesn't go before the board, is that correct? This is the final determination?
That's correct.
Okay. So, do I have a motion to approve? Commissioner,
I'll make a
Berman?
motion to approve case 2022-26P. I'm sorry, to approve the staff report as presented.
okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Franklin. Call for the vote. Commissioner Osley,
Aye.
Commissioner Manchella,
Aye.
Commissioner Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Giovannaho,
Aye.
Commissioner Berman,
Aye.
Commissioner Matei,
Aye.
and I'll vote aye. So that's okay. Next case is case 2022-27P, special use for a drive-through at 9409 Skokie Boulevard. Do I have a motion? Motion to,
Motion to approve the
Motion
special
to
use
approve.
permit?
okay. Do I have a second? Okay. Call for the vote. Commissioner Osley,
Aye.
Commissioner Manchella,
Aye.
Commissioner Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Giovannaho,
Aye.
Commissioner Berman,
Aye.
Commissioner Matei,
Aye.
and I'll vote aye. And there is a relief in this for signage. And do I have a motion to, for the signage?
Subject to,
I don't think it's subject to the Parents Commission, is it?
You could make it subject to it, but.
Okay, we could do that.
Yeah.
We could tie us into the into the Parents Commission.
sure.
Okay. Let's see. Subject to. Parents. Approval. Okay. That was Commissioner Berman.
I'll make a motion to accept the relief for the signage, subject to approval by the Appearance Commission.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Giovannaho, thank you. Second. Call for the vote. Commissioner Osley.
Aye.
Commissioner Manchella.
Aye.
Commissioner Franklin.
Aye.
Commissioner Giovannaho.
Aye.
Commissioner Berman.
Aye.
Commissioner Matei.
Aye.
And I'll vote aye. And finally, case 2022-28P. This is the subdivision. And the exact address for the subdivision is 9409 Skokie Boulevard. Do I have a motion for the subdivision?
Motion to approve the subdivision of 9409
Okay.
Skokie Boulevard.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
I'm sorry, who was that? Commissioner Manchella, thank you. Jim, running out of places to write things here. Okay. Call for the vote. Commissioner Osley,
Aye.
Commissioner Manchella,
Aye.
Commissioner Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Giovannaho,
Aye.
Commissioner Berman,
Aye.
Commissioner Matei,
Aye.
and I'll vote aye. And, again, with this dark cloud of the notice hanging over our heads, hopefully this will be it for tonight, and that'll be determined by our esteemed Corporation Council staff tomorrow. Is that, you'll be in touch with them tomorrow?
We will.
Okay. Any other closing remarks? Thank you for coming, and thank you for considering Skokie for your business. And this meeting is adjourned. Thank you. And please, before you leave, talk to Johanna and